Barry Season 2 has come to an end. It has finally happened. The finale has finally happened. And now I'm here to talk about it. This is my review for the season. However, if you have not seen the show at all, you've never seen an episode, then don't watch this video because I will be giving out spoilers from Season 1. To anyone who really is not familiar with the show at all, really, basically what it is Bill Hader is Barry. He is a hitman. He is brought up this way, and he one day gets into a job where he is supposed to assassinate a person from an acting class, and he gets into this class and he is completely impressed. He wants to be involved in acting, and somehow that's where he leads up to. That's the gist of this. This show was made by Berg and Bill Hader. Both of them combined to make this fantastic, unique show. It's a dark comedy. It's a dark comedy, crime, drama. All these mashed into one. I first found out about the show through this description from the internet, and it had Bill Hader in this still image of him in this very disturbing, sadistic look, and I thought this looks quite interesting. And the review described this show very, very similarly to a show like Breaking Bad, and I thought, okay, I gotta check that out because that looks very promising. And after watching this show, I can understand the similarities. I really do understand. After watching this show, I can really get behind it, and I can understand, yes, it does have those similarities. So of course I'm not going to spoil that much about what happens in this season, but I might refer to what happens in the last. This season focuses on Barry trying to improve himself as an actor. He's trying to establish his skills as an actor. He really wants to be focused on doing his best, but often he finds it very difficult to be in the right zone to project this talent. The main theme that I found out in this season, and in this season especially, is Barry's past correlating with his acting class. It really does serve as a therapeutic way in a session for him to express his feelings, his frustrations, and the fact that he is unable to confess to anyone about himself, about his past, about what he's been through, especially during his Marine days. It's more conflicted, expressing his pain on stage, bringing his two worlds together. But let's just start off right away with saying that Bill Hader is tremendously talented as an actor overall, period. I'm serious. This guy is not just a comedian. He is not just made for comedic films and shows and sketches such as SNL. He is very similar to an actor like Bryan Cranston. He reminds me a lot about him because much like Bryan Cranston, he was also a comedic actor. He was in a lot of performances such as Malcolm in the Middle, where he was mostly into comedy, and then he became the character that we all love, Walter White. The same thing, in my opinion, I believe is happening with Bill Hader. He is a comedic guy, he's a comedian, he was in SNL sketches. His performance is fantastic, and you really do see a dark, serious, messed up side from this character, and I loved every minute of it. But at the same time, he is also proving his skill and his talent in filmmaking as well, because this guy is fantastic. He's a fantastic writer. His directing in some of these episodes are masterful, including and especially including the episode Ronnie/Lily, episode 7, which is arguably by far the best episode that I have seen. It may just be one of the best episodes in television history, and I'm putting it up there with episodes like Ozymandias. It's fantastic. It left me at the edge of my seat the whole time. And speaking of comedy, I just gotta say, NoHo Hank is so funny. The character, the actor who is played by Anthony Carrigan, he is absolutely hysterical in this show. I found him just a little bit annoying in the first season, but once you really do dive into what his motives are in this season, it makes much more sense, and it just makes him much more likable. He is so likable. He has this persona where he is so polite, but he is under a world full of violence and crime, and you don't really see that much often. And he is so funny, and he is so innocent. Not really, because he's involved in this stuff, but he acts so innocent and he wants to be friends with everyone, and things don't really go working out his way, and he is so funny in this entire show. The comedic timing that this guy has is fantastic. I was watching an interview with Bill Hader, and he mentioned NoHo Hank's character while filming. And there was a certain episode where they were trying to obviously film. Bill Hader could not stop laughing because of how charismatic this guy was, and the way that he changed a few lines just so that he can experiment as to what could be better. He made it even more funnier. It's just the way he says things which is absolutely brilliant, and it just has me laughing the whole time. He's got a bright future, and I'm so excited for more things to come. One particular scene where the line and the dialogues delivered by this person is so on point, and that's the thing about this season, about these actors, especially a person like Anthony, is that yes, dialogues are great, script is fantastic, but the way these people deliver these dialogues is just something else, and that's tremendously talented. And this just makes it even more funnier because you don't really expect it, and it's just, I don't see anybody else taking this role as much as Anthony. NoHo Hank is fantastic, great character, and it's a really, really great way of having a side supporting character in a season, in a show. And they really do progress with this person, because you don't really care that much in the first season. Sarah Goldberg is great as Sally. She's a hopeful actress, she is very optimistic, and she shows it even more in this season. And the friendship and the relationship between herself and Barry is even more greater, and you see that progression. And there is one scene, I just don't want to spoil anything, it's just there is one point where herself as an actress, it can be quite frustrating. You don't get much auditions, you don't really get much stuff that's going on, you don't get much employment, and so you see that through her character, and the way the actress expresses this in a particular scene is so relatable, but it's so funny as well. And of course, one cannot forget Henry Winkler. This guy is a legend. He is a fantastic actor, and I was so happy that he finally got an award for, an Emmy Award last year, and he just takes it even further. He is so funny, and obviously his character suffered a traumatic experience. He is quite isolated, he doesn't really know what to do. The only thing he has are these students, and the relationship between himself and these students, he is their teacher, and he takes that very seriously in this season. He takes it, and he doesn't really take it for granted, and that's a great thing, and that's a great message as well. I can't talk about this show, this season, without without talking about one particular episode. And this episode is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. It's called Ronnie/Lily. It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in television history. I am not kidding. It's one of the most bizarre things. It's absolutely bonkers. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but it's so crazy, and it's done in the right ways possible. And I gotta say one thing, Bill Hader, yes, he's proven that he is a serious actor, that he is not one to be messed around with. But his talent as a filmmaker and as a director really does shine. It really does stand out in the season, especially in the episode Ronnie/Lily. It may just be one of the best episodes in television history. I'm putting it up there with episodes like Ozymandias. It's fantastic. It left me at the edge of my seat the whole time. It was incredible, and I would love to talk about it in a separate video as well. And it was all directed by Bill Hader. They really do raise the stakes even further. Every ending of this episode, every ending of an episode in this season, you just want to keep watching more and more and more, and you just want to keep going. And that's the thing that I didn't really get from last season, except for the final 2 episodes. But in this season, you feel like you want to watch the next episode every single time a cliffhanger happens. And there are many cliffhangers, very frustrating cliffhangers, because they ended at that time, and you're like, wow, you're really doing that to me. Come on. My only flaw with this season is perhaps the first few episodes, the first 2 episodes, I wanted it to pick up a little bit more concerning how the show ended in the first season. It sort of backhanded it a little bit more, and you're thinking you kind of want just a little bit more narrative development expressing from further. And so the pacing was a little bit off, but as soon as you go into episode 3, absolute flawless. So because of that, that's the only flaw that I had. But apart from that, this show is fantastic. I cannot wait for season 3. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't know what they're going to do, because they've left it in this sort of state where you're thinking, what is happening? So I'm very excited, and I'm going to give Barry season 2 an A. I really do think that Barry has the full potential to be something absolutely special, much like how Breaking Bad was when you saw the first few seasons. The pieces were coming together, and I feel like Barry is in the same position right now. It's slowly building up, all the plot and the characters and everything, and it's going to be something epic, because I can't wait for season 3. It really does have the potential to be what Breaking Bad was, and this could be the only show that comes close to it. Definitely check this out if you haven't done so already. It is arguably the best HBO show right now. So seek this one out, because these people are fantastic, especially Bill Hader. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon.